Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. I want to take you guys through the best PC game deals available once again, and right now there are a ton of great deals available. Steam's got a great Capcom sale. A couple of other games are discounted, but most notably, Green Man Gaming is running an awesome sale right now with a ton of games seeing their lowest prices ever. We'll cover that in a little bit. Let's go through the Steam deals first, and as I mentioned, there is a Capcom sale running right now, and when you talk about Capcom, you gotta talk about Resident Evil. And the most recent game in the franchise in Resident Evil 2 is seeing a little bit of a discount, 34% off for $39.59. Now, this game did just release a few months ago. It's a little over 3 months old. And of course, it is an early contender for Game of the Year. Now, the issue with this game is, yes, you're dropping a hefty price at $40 just about. And it's not a game that's going to have a sizable amount of longevity. I mean, you're going to be able to complete it in around 12 to 15 hours if you take your time. Now, if you played Resident Evil 2 back in the day and you know the layout and everything, you could definitely complete the game quicker. But for you guys naturally going through the game, 12 to 15 hours of content is reasonable to expect. Capcom did put out some additional content. However, this is a game that really showcases quality over quantity, and that playthrough that you get out of the game is so good that for $39.59, I would highly recommend the game. If you're looking for a quality survival horror game, you're definitely going to get it with Resident Evil 2. And yes, the price is kind of high. I wouldn't condemn you all too much if you waited a little bit longer to say, wait for it to get south of $30, but just know it's a remarkable game, and it's one that I would have even recommended at for a full $60. And you know how hesitant I am on recommending games at full price, but RE2 is one that I would, but right now you can get it for $39.59, and I think that's pretty good. Next up, I just want to quickly blitz through a lot of the other deals as a part of the Capcom sale. A bunch of the Resident Evil games are on sale. Resident Evil 5 is 75% off for $5. Resident Evil 6 is 75% off for $7.49. That game's pretty bad though, so I wouldn't recommend it. Resident Evil Revelations, one that I really enjoyed, is 77% off for $6.89. Quite like that game. And for a little under $7, that's definitely worth it. They have Revelations 2 on sale as well. A couple other Capcom titles on sale include Dead Rising, Dead Rising 2. Those are $6 a pop. They got the Lost Planet games on sale. Strider is on sale for $4.49. That's a pretty good game. All the Mega Man games are on sale as well. As far as the collections are concerned, and the Mega Man X Legacy collection is down to $15, so that's not bad either. Monster Hunter World is seeing a decent bit of a discount. It's down to $39.59, but we have seen that cheaper, so I'd probably wait for a deeper discount on that. And Resident Evil 7 is also on sale. That's 50% off for $14.99, so that's pretty good, and I would give that a recommendation. So I just wanted to quickly highlight the other deals available as a part of the Capcom sale. Unfortunately, no discount on Devil May Cry 5, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I do believe Games Planet has that on sale for like $45, so if you are eager to check out DMC5, you can go that route. Also available on Steam right now outside of the Capcom sale is Frostpunk. This game is seeing a pretty big discount, 40% off down to $18. Now, this is one game that has really held up in price. It released all the way back in April of 2018, and it's actually celebrating its 1-year anniversary. It celebrated that back on April 24th, but this was a very good game, a game that got a little bit of a mixed reception at launch. However, since the release of this game, they've added a lot of content, and there's a lot of strategy to this game, and it's a pretty emotional game as well, a pretty dark game, and I had quite a good time with it. Again, as far as content goes, it's not absolutely packed with content, but a game that is quite a bit replayable, and again, 11-Bit Studios has kept it updated, and these are the same guys that did This War of Mine, and if you've played that game, you know how dark it is. I think Frostpunk is even darker, so if you had interest in it, so again, $18 is kind of expensive, but I would say it's worth it, and given all the content that they've added to the game, it's a much better buy now than it was at launch, and I even enjoyed the game at launch, even though it really lacked content back then, but nonetheless, wanted to give that a shout. Okay, moving on from that, Humble has also got an Alien Day sale going on. Alien Isolation is 75% off for $9.99, and the collection for that game is $12.49. The collection will include the base game and downloadable content. So that's probably the route I would recommend if you do want to save a little bit. Getting the base game for $9.99 isn't bad. Alien Isolation is one of the best games early on in this generation. I had a very good time with it, and it does have elements of survival horror, and it does it pretty well in that as well. I wanted to see a follow-up to this game, but I don't know if we're ever gonna get a AAA follow-up to Alien Isolation. I hope at some point. But if you've yet to play the game, the PC version was quite good. Performance is good. Visually, it looks great on PC if you have a decent rig. So I wanted to give that a mention at $9.99, but again, the collection for $12.49 is probably your best bet. Okay, moving on, Green Man Gaming is killing it right now with a lot of deals. They're doing their best of spring sale right now, and they've got a ton of great deals. Batman Arkham Knight is 75% off for $5, and by the way, you can use the code BESTOF to save an additional 15%. So Arkham Knight is listed at $5. If you're actually a VIP member to Green Man Gaming, you'll get it for $4.60, and then you can use the code BESTOF and save an additional 15%. If you're a VIP member, you actually get this game south of $4. If you're not a VIP member, you still get the game a little over $4, which is ridiculous for Arkham Knight, a game that bashed and crapped on when it launched back in 2015, and rightfully so. It was one of the worst PC ports of all time, and this was just a few months after the atrocious PC port that was Assassin's Creed Unity. Not a great time for big budget PC games, but Arkham Knight really turned things around, and at this point, it's a pretty competent PC version. It runs well, and it looks fantastic on PC, and playing the game at 60 FPS, yeah, it's a treat to look at, and for around $4, that is a steal. Next up, for my JRPG guys out there, Ninokuni 2 Revenant Kingdom is 66% off, down to $20.40. With the code, it ends up being $15 and change. That's a great deal for Ninokuni 2, one of the better JRPGs this generation. While I won't say it was as good as the first Ninokuni title, I imagine a lot of you guys on PC didn't even play that game considering it never came on PC, but nonetheless, Ninokuni 2, a quality game, and this is one of those games that if you're not big on JRPGs, if you're not big on Japanese games in general, Ninokuni 2 is a pretty good starting point because it has a relatable story, it's got some great presentation, likable characters, combat style is good, and it's a pretty engaging game overall, and there aren't a lot of Japanese nuances in there as well that are a little bit cringeworthy. What I'm trying to say is there's not a ton of cringe in this game, so accessibility wise I think it's top notch, and for $17 and change I think that's a pretty good buy. Next up, we've got LA Noire, the completed edition. That is 70% off for $9. Using the code would knock it down to around $8.70. It is a very compelling game with a great setting. I wouldn't recommend it at its full price when it was released at say $50 to $60, but now that you can get it for what, $8 and change, it's a pretty unique game, and I know a lot of you guys missed out on it, so I would give it a recommendation for you guys to give it a go and try it out. Next up, I know I've always been adverse to fighting games on PC, but there's such a good deal on Dragon Ball FighterZ right now. It is 75% off for $15, and with that promo code, you'll end up getting it for what, around $13? That is fantastic for Dragon Ball FighterZ, a game that just got its second wave of Season Pass content, or it's getting this at this point, and yeah, it's one of those games that you are gonna get nickeled and dimed a little bit if you want all the content. The second wave of Season Pass content is actually about to add Goku from Dragon Ball GT, and I, unlike most people, actually enjoy Dragon Ball GT. I just think Kid Goku is hella charming, and I find him to be absolutely hilarious, especially with the hilarious voice acting. Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku is badass too. So I like those elements about GT, but I get it. A lot of you guys didn't really dig GT. I was a bigger fan than most, but nonetheless, Dragon Ball FighterZ is a great fighting game. Visually, it's great. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball, of course, it'll be up your alley, and it does have a lot of technical nuances as well. It's just keep your expectations in line with the community as a PC fighting game. Obviously, there isn't a robust community there, but there are still some people playing the game, and for $15, it's not a gigantic investment, so if you do want to go through the single player, if you want to play with a couple of buddies, at this price, I do think it's a pretty good buy. Next up, a game that I was a big fan of is Alan Wake. It is 75% off for $3.75. This was a game that was removed from Steam for a little bit, but now it was reintroduced. They got the licensing issues worked out, and Alan Wake is a great game. Unfortunately, this is one that didn't sell well at all. It seems like Remedy games just have a very hard time in finding commercial recognition. Alan Wake didn't do all too well. I don't think Quantum Break did all too well. And honestly speaking, I don't think Control is going to do all too well, but Control, at least they've got that upfront money from the Epic Game Store, so they've got that going for them. However, quality-wise, Alan Wake is a terrific game. It's a little bit on the shorter side. You can probably complete it in around 6 to 7 hours. With the time I spent with the game, I really enjoyed it. Now for $3.75, it is a really good buy, even though it's on the shorter side. And lastly, I do want to give a shout to Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. That is 50% off for $10. By the way, if you are a VIP member, you end up getting this a lot cheaper at $7.80. Whatever the case may be, I thought Ori and the Blind Forest was a tremendous platformer, and whether you're paying $10, whether you're paying $7.80, it is a game you absolutely need to play. From a presentation standpoint, the visuals are absolutely gorgeous, gameplay is great, story is super emotional. Cannot say enough good things about Ori and the Blind Forest, and yes, this game is one that has really held up in price. When did it release? Like all the way back in 2016? It's been 3 years, and probably a year after its release, it hit that 50% off point for $10, but now it just won't get any cheaper, which is a little bit of a bummer, but nonetheless, if you've never played the game, I would highly recommend it. It is a great time and a tremendous platformer, and of course, we've got the sequel on the way, and I'm sure that game will be tremendous as well. And that's gonna conclude this video, guys. Again, a lot of great PC game deals available right now across Steam with the Capcom Sale. Frostpunk is a great buy. Alien Isolation for $9.99 or $12.49 for the collection. And Green Man Gaming is really killing it with all their deals right now. Use the code BESTOF to save an additional 15%. That's gonna wrap up this video, guys. If you have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comments section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.